Well, good morning. Welcome to East Alabama Tackle. Had a couple of folks from our page ask me about what we do and how we do it at my shop and some of the equipment I use. So I thought I'd spend a little bit of time, show you around, and maybe even make a few baits. Let me reset the camera and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. What you guys are looking at now is the way I make baits. Several years ago, I got in touch with Leonard from baitjunkies.com, and at the time he was building these motor systems and producing injectors for hand injecting baits. What I did is I bought two, of course, motors for the Presto pots. I happen to be using the bigger one now. I think this one's the 5 quart or 6 quart, I don't know which. And I bought a dual injection system, which he called his Pro Lam system. I'll show you that in just a second. And I bought the Pro Rex system, which he produced back then, which is to hold the injectors inside the pots. Pretty good system. It works great. Let me show you this injector real quick. Of course, it's a dual injector. I think this one is 7 ounces. It has locking tips, as you can see, just like the Bass Tackle one does, and a little bit thinner wall than the Bass Tackle injector. And I kind of like that because it doesn't allow the plastic to freeze inside the injector tube very easily. It runs pretty well. It has its own connector for the 2 plungers, and if you want to, of course, you take this off and you can use it in that milk to cow method for doing 2-color swirl baits and things like that, and it sits in the rack just fine. What I usually do is I'll put a batch of plastic together, either 2-color or 1-color, depending upon what I want to do, and I'll put the injector in, and then I'll start to heat it from scratch in the pot. Lots of people don't like to do that. I do, just because it gives me a chance to run in the house, get a cup of coffee, get a couple of other things done, and get ready to shoot the batch. And it only takes me about 15 to 20 minutes tops to heat from the liquid state all the way to gel and phased. And sometimes I'll even do like I'm going to do a little bit later in this video, and I'm going to cook a batch that's already been pre-mixed colorant. Give me just a second to set something up and I'll be right back. Okay, so y'all obviously heard how loud that fan is, and I don't think I'll be able to talk over it, nor would you be able to hear me. But I'm going to go ahead and shoot this because my temperature is right about 330 where I set it. I'm going to put a probe in there just to see, just to make sure. And usually about 325, 330 is where I like to shoot most of my baits. It's going to depend an awful lot on weather conditions, what I want to shoot, the type of bait I want to shoot. If it's got real small appendages, I want to shoot them a little bit, maybe a little bit hotter than 325 because you want to get all the little tiny nooks and crannies fixed. Alright, the temp probe says 293, 296, so we're getting there. And my PID right now reads 328 and it's in 0.5 and it's set at 330. So let's see how close we're going to come. Okay. You can see what it looks like. I think we're ready to shoot this, and if you guys don't mind, I'm going to not talk for a minute, put my mask back on, turn the fan back on, and I'm going to be shooting my nuclear series, which is the BassTackle.com bomb series of baits in 3.5, 4 1/4, and 5.5 sizes. Let me just shoot a few of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm guessing these have probably had enough of a chance to cool right now, but first things first, I wanted you guys to take a look at the injector that I was using, and I know I've told you about this before, but this is the one that Bait Junkies originally started, and I think Leonard is in the process of redesigning something so that he can reproduce more injectors for us. Don't know that for sure, but I do like this one simply because of the handle. You've seen me use it, you've seen Jim Lanza use it, you've seen Chris Jones use it down in Florida. I really like this handle. It makes, as you saw, it really easy to move about with the injector in your hand. I would still wear gloves no matter what, simply because the handle does get hot sitting in the pot like this. The whole thing's going to heat up, and you're going to eventually feel it, so why not take the chance and, you know, make it work right now. And you saw also that I moved to a single pro rest, I mean. The reason I did that is because I'm only going to be using one injector. You see the other one back here, and this particular one is around $50, I think. I can't remember for sure. But it's only going to work on this system, which is no longer produced. So those of you that are thinking about a new stir system or a new way to use a Presto pot with a stir motor and something like that, you might want to take a real quick look at Brian Cash's system. Go ahead and go on a page, look up Brian Cash, look at some of his videos and or pictures. And the system that he has for the smaller Presto pot, the 4-quart one, I think really works good. And it's got an enclosed lid on it, which I like simply because it kind of cuts down on the fumes and stuff. Anyway, let's stop talking and let's go ahead and start demolding these things. First up is going to be the 3.5 inch little boy, I call it. And again, it's watermelon red. And you notice I was using these sprue extenders. Got the idea, of course, from Jim Lanza from Razor Baits. You can look online and you can look up on YouTube Jim Lanza and you can see how he makes these. I was using the one that was only 1 inch long, and you saw how many times I filled it back up and topped it off. As a matter of fact, if you look down inside, you can see there's not a whole lot of plastic left in that extender. So yeah, do these things suck the mold down? Sure they do. And I think if you're not going to use a sprue injector, you're going to spend most of your time sitting around refilling the injector to make sure that you don't have problems with your baits. And there's the mold with the baits inside. A little bit shy on some of the glitter, but sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I'll let you take a quick look at it. Hopefully you kind of like that. I think next time I do this, I'm going to put a little bit more red glitter in there. It probably would look a little bit nicer. Next up, going to be the 4.25 size. This one is called the Bomb. I don't know why, I thought it was a good idea. Again, same thing. A sprue extender that's kind of empty because it's a little cold here in Alabama. There you go, that's what it looks like in the mold. Pop it out. Again, pretty much the same. Let me see if this will focus now. Pretty much the same result. I kind of like them. What do you guys think? And last but not least, of course, .5.5 inch Fat Man. Now this is one big bait. You guys in Florida, if you want to go flipping with this thing, I think you'll find a bigger fish with this bait. Again, same thing. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Okay, enough of that. Let me reposition the camera just a second. Okay, Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this, and if you like what you've seen so far and you want to see more, please do me a favor and like this video. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the comments that I'm going to put below. I'll put a couple of links down in the bottom in the description so that you know a little bit about the products that we have. You can't buy what I'm using as far as my pot stirring system right now, but maybe if we talk real nice and Leonard has a little bit of free time in amongst all the molds he's building, he might bring something back. But for now, I would look real hard at Brian Cash's stir system for Presto Pots if you intend to use one. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and if you have a chance, look me up on East Alabama Tackle on Facebook or www.eatackle.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.